Hey, so this just landed in the mail today. A little curious about it. The trailer looked okay. I've seen a few spoiler-free reviews on YouTube, and it's not getting much love, but I just love my zombie movies, and Romero for me is the man. So if it's going to dabble inside his world and just give a new interpretation, I will be curious. I will check it out. As long as it's entertaining. I've been burned by the previous Day of the Dead remake. This is a sequel not related to that movie at all, with Mina Savari and Ving Rhames. Oh guys, really? So, about to whack this on and see how much it hurts me. Wish me luck. Yeah, so Day of the Dead Bloodline. Oh man, that movie was terrible. Straight off the bat, I was anticipating an okay movie. I mean, the trailer looked alright, but yeah, no. Once again, the trailer has misled me, and I've purchased a movie that ultimately turned out to be a waste of money and really shit. It kind of takes the zombie genre and yeah, no, it's crap. Just watch Day of the Dead, the original George A. Romero Day of the Dead classic. Way better than this. The first trailer on this DVD actually was for The Girl with All the Gifts, which is really brave of all the people who distributed this movie, because The Girl with All the Gifts is a really, really, really good zombie flick based on a girl who has been infected by the zombie virus, but who's been given a vaccine which keeps the zombie virus at bay. So that's a really good story, actually. It's based on a book. I highly recommend you check that out. But to put that trailer before this movie, brave. It was filmed in 2017, released by Lionsgate, directed by Hector Hernandez Vicens, and starring Sophie Skelton as Zoe and Jonathan Schaech as Max, who ultimately becomes the bub character in this movie. Initially, Zoe is a medical student, and Max is a creepy, rapey nutbag who keeps coming and harassing her. He's actually engraved her name on his arm, but it turns out he's got some kind of blood anomaly, which will ultimately, when he gets bitten by a zombie, kind of keep him marginally intelligent. Even though he's still a creepoid, he doesn't go full zombie mode. That's why he is like the bub character in this. But whereas in the original Day of the Dead, Bub is a very sympathetic character. His zombie is full zombie, just with a marginal degree of intelligence, and he's an amazing character in the movie. Here, Max is just a stalker, rapey half zombie who is still hell-bent on just abducting and raping poor Zoe, even though he is a scary, horrible monster now. And it's not done well. It's filmed in Bulgaria, so a lot of the extras do have those accents, and where they're not, there's horrible dubbing. Yeah, this is just bad. From beginning to end, this movie just kind of was really sapping my will to live. But luckily, it only goes for 90 minutes, so that's a positive. I will give the film a couple props. The zombie effects were okay, the makeup was done well, and the little CGI work that they did use to enhance the creepy zombie face was okay. Fair bit of the red stuff flying around, so the practical effects in this were alright. I'm glad they decided to go practical instead of all CGI. That was a good move. At the bunker there is a gate, right? And outside the gate, we've got some dead zombies who have obviously tried to get in, and they've met some bullets, and now they're laying on the ground. But they are obviously mannequins, just laying on the ground, strewn willy-nilly, and yeah, obviously very, very fake, and just like the arms are propped up. It's bad. The acting, I'm not going to go over any more of the cast list because, quite honestly, there's not really anybody else in here that you've heard of. and everyone is below par. The main star, Sophie Skelton, who is in Outlander, I've only watched one episode of that. I have been curious about it, but never dived in. I've got so many series to watch. Even she's kind of mediocre, and she's meant to hold the whole film together. I'm sorry, Sophie. It just wasn't a very good performance. Jonathan Sheck, who I do enjoy in previous movies, he was okay as the zombie. All he was doing really was just roaring and screaming and being creepy. But out of everyone, I guess he was the best performance in the movie. But yeah, the acting, atrocious. And when the zombies do attack, it's one of those films where the editing is just chop, 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 just fast paced. You got like one scene for 1 second, it moves on to the next one. So the editing is very fast paced in this. Kind of hard to keep a handle as to what was going on, and a bit of shaky cam footage too when it is still and focusing on characters. Yeah, a little bit shaky, so I don't know where they're going for realism. So in this one, they call the zombies rotters. We have walkers in The Walking Dead and zombies. I don't know why they just call them rotters. I don't know why they feel like they need to change the name of the zombies in all these different films, but they do, and I guess they are rotting. I think they got a quick transition phase too. It wasn't really made clear. Like when you get bit, you're pretty much a zombie, like a full-fledged rotting zombie within a couple of minutes, which really irks me. The same thing happened in the World War Z, where you get bit, 12 seconds later you're up and you're a full-fledged zombie. Whereas in the classic lore, you're a decayed human being who has risen from the dead. So the reason you're rotting is because you're decaying and you've been dead for a little while. If you're a fresh zombie, you can still run around. You don't look as bad. You don't look good, but you have got the freshness to kind of amplify your movements. And as you decay and degrade, you become slow and shamble. So I can understand the running zombie part, and that's quite frequent in this movie. You got the running zombies, no real shamblers. And for some reason, the zombies like to roar and scream, and I don't know, if you got decayed vocal cords, that would be a problem. I know I'm reading way too much into this. I'm a zombie fan, what can I say? So the basic plot of the film does kind of stick closely to the original Day of the Dead movie, whereas a bunch of military personnel, scientific personnel in a bunker. This one we got a lot more cast, that would mean you're an actor, in this movie, like refugees. So we're a little bit more rounded out in regards to the personnel who are in the bunker. There's a lot more people down there. But for some reason, with an increase in the number of people in this bunker, there's no real feeling of claustrophobia. And the tension and all the build-up angst in the original Day of the Dead movie was palpable. It really kind of made you very uncomfortable. In this one, I didn't really feel any tension at all, considering the dire circumstances that they're in. There's plot. Like, the medical personnel do need to go on regular supply runs to go to the hospitals in the surrounding cities, which are deserted and, straight out of Resident Evil 2, the game, and get medicine for the people who are sick. I mean, one little girl's got some kind of contagious virus, and they need to, nip that in the bud really quickly before it spreads out into the populace of the bunker and kill everyone. So going on these regular supply runs is important. And, well, very Walking Dead. Often they go on supply runs to get, food and medication and stuff, but it's nothing that we haven't really seen before. So anyway, at the beginning of the movie, in the prologue, Max, the creepy stalker, gets bit by a zombie, and because he's got this blood anomaly, he doesn't fully change. So 5 years later, after the prologue, when the initial outbreak takes place, we're in the bunker setting, and he has been hanging out at this hospital all these years for some reason. So when they go to get the medicine, so he's goes off on her own and scrambles and gets extra stuff. I don't know why. It's not really explained. Max, the zombie, kind of spies her, runs away, and then gets under one of the trucks when they're going back to the bunker, and sneaks into the bunker and then crawls around the vents a la John McClane, spying and crushing on Zoe before he kind of makes his presence felt, and they catch him and they chain him up, and that's when they start kind of like doing experiments on this guy, trying to determine if his blood can provide some kind of a vaccine. So they got him chained to a wall, but he's, they're trying to do a Bub. I really like Bub way more better in the original, because this one is just like, he looked good. Jonathan Sheck, under all that makeup and stuff, it was creepy, yeah, but wasn't feeling the love, dude. Okay, so what? Jeff Gum plays the commanding officer. In the original Day of the Dead, it was Joe Pilato who played Rhodes. A glorious, over-the-top performance. He was menacing, he was shouting, he was really crazy and off the chain, and he was perfect in that role. The menace and the sheer craziness that he gave off in his performance was magic. And when he kind of meets his untimely demise, well, not untimely, he deserved every bite at the end of that movie. It was brilliant. Here we got Jeff Gum, who is playing the Rhodes character, but his name in the movie is actually Miguel Salazar, who was played by Anthony DeLeo Jr. in the original movie. And he wasn't the commanding officer. He was the mentally unstable soldier who lost an arm and ultimately led the zombies into the bunker and caused all the mayhem at the end of that movie. So they're taking the same name, giving it to a different character and made it a different role. So I know this movie's inspired by it, but if you're gonna, I don't know why they would change it up so much. And just saying Jeff Gum is no Joe Pilato. Just saying, at all. So yeah, we get the ultimate carnage at the end of the movie. The zombies get into the bunker and they go around and start chewing on all the peeps and killing everyone, and there's blood's flowing freely and stuff. But there was no real connection to this movie at all. I was just kind of watching it for the 90 minutes that it was on, just taking my notes, and just I wasn't engaged in any way, shape, or form. Zoe ultimately comes up with some kind of a vaccine, and the note this movie ends on it was so corny. It was right out of a soap opera. Ultimately love will save the day, and you know where to go, and the world is full of hope. Come on, man. That just made me sick. So, this is a really crappy movie, so now I get to rate it. Day of the Dead Bloodline will get a solid... I was going to go 4, but no, I'm going to go 3. 3 out of 10. It has got some decent zombie effects and some okay gore, but not enough to save the film. To be perfectly honest, this was just shit. I hate the way they're taking the epic, wonderful, grotesque, claustrophobic, groundbreaking George A. Romero zombie flicks and tarnishing the name by releasing these mediocre movies under the same mantle and just not delivering the goods. Oh, George A. Romero, I miss you so much, man. R.I.P. But yeah, these movies, just waste of time. Avoid it if you can. Don't bother at all. Stick to the classics. Romero really knew how to deliver a zombie film. My camera just stopped halfway through. I don't know why. Maybe I was just recording way too long. Okay, anyway, guys, thanks for checking into my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Please leave me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And if you're going to put a thumbs down, let me know why. If I want to improve the channel, your constructive feedback will be helpful. Don't just down for just because you're a jerk. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.